Hello to anyone that's watching this video. This is an unscheduled video for today. A bit of an ad hoc, kind of just wanted to jump on and talk about this, as it's something that's kind of happened to me today. And I thought, because I was kind of feeling bad about it and trying to reflect on it all, and as I have been doing, I thought I'm going to do a live stream about it and kind of put my thoughts out there. And also, especially for myself, so I can watch this video back later and I can reflect again on it, as it's these kind of things you kind of reflect on and then sometimes you forget them again. So it's kind of good to have this stuff vocalised for later. So as the video, the title suggests, I'm going to be talking about anxiety attacks, and basically I had one today. And one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about it and kind of reflect on it is because with my anxiety attacks, I feel that they're quite subtle to me, and it's hard for me to register what is actually happening. And that's kind of like half the battle sometimes, realising what's happening so you can do something about it. And if you don't realise what's happening, you're just going to get sucked into it. And obviously, whilst you have an anxiety attack, it's a very difficult time to have rational thoughts about what's happening. And so I just wanted to kind of discuss what happened and what it kind of come to conclusion with what I thought about it and stuff like that. So basically today I was meant to be going to my first day volunteering with the community project people. I was meant to go last week, but the snow kind of basically put that off really. The lady who was meant to be helping me and stuff at the office, she couldn't get in, so and I was fine with that. I was actually going away for the weekend and I was going to go on a long trip that day, so it allowed me to kind of get off early and stuff like that. So at that point I was like, yeah, happy with that. I was a little bit gutted that I couldn't just jump in and get in there, but I kind of said, no, it's fine, Dave, you're not meant to be rushing anyway into this, so I just accept it. And then so this week I've been kind of not really thinking about it, and I think that's kind of one of my problems. I kind of left, didn't think about it and left the thoughts about it kind of to the side whilst I was doing other things and other things on my mind. And even last night I was doing some live streaming, some gaming and stuff, and when it came to like going to bed and stuff, I was just kind of ignoring what I was doing tomorrow and not really preparing myself for it. And I think subconsciously I was worried about it, kind of thing. I worried about doing it because it's the first time, and I haven't been like working or doing anything like challenging in that sense for the past year. So it's kind of realizing that this is a big deal for me. And not just nothing kind of thing. So I don't think I got myself ready for it. So I woke up this morning. I think I went to bed about 1 o'clock last night, which is kind of like my good time. I'm trying to get till about 12 o'clock so I can wake up at 7, 8 and feel fresh. But at the moment, about 1 o'clock in the morning, I fall asleep. I finally get myself, turn everything off and go to sleep. And so I woke up at 8 o'clock this morning with my alarm going off, and I was shattered. So I woke up this morning at 8 o'clock, and I felt very tired and kind of a bit shitty, really. So I kind of just instantly kind of fell back asleep again. My alarm went off at 8:30, felt the same. Fell back asleep again, woke up at 9 o'clock, and at that point I was, kind of made myself get up because obviously I had to get ready to go, get myself ready and stuff, and I don't like to rush at the moment. I like to prepare myself slowly. So 9 o'clock I forced myself out of bed, but I did have that kind of feeling of just kind of feeling a bit ill, a bit shit in my eyes, were a bit kind of stingy and stuff, and I just felt a bit crappy, a bit kind of like a bit of a kind of cold, bit of a kind of flu coming on kind of feeling that I get. And this is kind of one of my signs of anxiety that I need to register and kind of acknowledge what's happening instead of just kind of thinking that, oh, I just feel a bit shit. It's like, no, you probably might, if something else is happening, something, it's kind of about anxiety. So I got up and I kind of had my first cup of tea, watched a bit of TV to kind of get myself going, as I normally do, and I had to set off at 12 o'clock to get there for 1 o'clock is what I had in my mind. So about 10 o'clock I was like, right, watch a bit of TV, I need to get some breakfast in me to get going. So I went downstairs, had some breakfast, and then kind of came back up, watched a bit more TV, and then it got to I think about 11 o'clock and I was like, oh shit, I've got an hour now, I need to get myself ready. and I was feeling a little bit anxious, you know what I mean. And at the time, I thought the main the anxiousness was the timekeeping, the kind of having an organisation. Like I only had an hour, I had to go and have a shower and get myself ready, and then get to the bus, kind of thing. I forced myself to have a shower to kind of go, all right, have a shower, get your music on in the shower, have a sing and a dance in the shower, which is one thing I kind of do now to kind of make me feel uplifted and stuff. So I did that. Came out of the shower feeling a little bit better, but probably not too much better. And then I kind of came back into the room, realised it was like coming up to 12 o'clock, and I wasn't like dressed or anything yet, and that's when the kind of thoughts started to really kind of affect me, in the sense of, I don't want to go, I can't go, what do I do? These people are relying on me, you know what I mean? The kind of feeling of pressure and stuff, and the feeling of having other people depending on you kind of started to come again. And also the other thing that I realised is I hadn't talked to him since last week, and the anxiety of the unknown, and kind of those thoughts, those anxious thoughts of, oh, what if, you know what I mean, what if they don't know you're coming, or what if, you know what I mean, what if they're going to talk to you about it first? So I don't know. It was just, I had thoughts of basically I haven't talked to him for a week before today, so I'm just going to turn up there and go, hi, what am I doing? And that again kind of added on to the kind of feeling of anxiety. So so basically at that point I thought, right, best thing to do is probably to text your work coach and just kind of say like, oh, is the lady Lisa expecting me, what's going on, kind of thing. So I sent that to her, basically, and I said like, I don't mind if if you don't want me today or something. And luckily she sent me a message back saying, oh no, you know what I mean, you can come today, Lisa's there, but if you don't want to, you know what I mean, I think she must have sent from a text message that was a bit apprehensive. But she said, if you don't want to come today, that's fine, just come next Friday, not a problem, kind of thing. And she even said at the bottom of the text, that kind of helped me realise I shouldn't go, is like, oh, but the office does close at 3 o'clock anyway. And obviously it was coming up, it's past 12 o'clock at that point, so I thought, right, if I get the bus now and get up there, it's about half an hour, 40 minutes to get there. It's going to be 1 o'clock by the time I get there, and then this is new, so they have to set me up on a laptop and things and get everything organised for me. So in the end, I'm not going to have any time to actually do anything productive, you know, so that kind of made me kind of give me a way out, a bit of an excuse kind of thing. But I'm not being excused in a bad way. At that point it became like a logical thing, as in like, yeah, you know what I mean, there is no point now, and also, yeah, I don't have to go now. It's not like the world's on me, it's not a shudder, it's not a must, it's, you know what I mean, it's on me if I, you know, I want to, kind of thing. And they're not like, I put the pressure on me like they're depending on me. They're not depending on me, you know. They want me to come and enjoy myself, and, you know what I mean, and not have the pressure and stuff and be overwhelmed. But those kind of things, and they said that to me when we had the meeting 2 weeks ago, they said there's no pressure, very easy going, you can do as much as you want, as little as you want. But those kind of memories of them saying that left me during the day. But then she kind of reaffirmed it when she sent me that text. So I sent her a nice text back saying, oh, thank you, I have been feeling kind of very anxious, stuff like that, and I kind of explained to her a little bit. And before that, when I sent the first message to her, I didn't say that I was having anxiety and stuff like that. And again, the thoughts I'm trying to get rid of is like, I instantly thought, I can't tell them I'm having an anxiety attack, or, you know what I mean, I'm having anxiety right now, because they might instantly think, oh, well then Dave's not ready for this, and we better, you know what I mean, like, talk to him about that and see what we can do, and maybe not give him this work and stuff. And that freaked me out because I wanted the work. So that kind of made me go, oh, I can't tell them the truth. But then I did, after I sent the first text which she sent me back, I did say, you know what I mean, I'm having this, it's a problem and stuff, and she sent me one back saying, no, it's fine, don't worry about it. So that helped ease it slightly, that made it feel a bit better, you know. And then at that point, that relief kind of came a bit. The anxiety was still there, the feeling of kind of letting myself down, letting people down was still there, but it subsided a little bit. So at that point I decided, right, you got the afternoon now, there are some things you kind of wanted to do and stuff like that, and so I did some washing up. I had a load of dirty plates and stuff that I've been kind of collecting over the past couple of days and not sorting out. I thought, right, I'm going to go and do that, that's a productive, nice thing to do. And so when I went downstairs and did that, and that's when I started kind of thinking, reflecting on what I'd just done and stuff like that, and what happened to me, and realising that I don't say it and I don't really admit it, that I have anxiety attacks. The way I kind of rationale it is, I don't have anxiety attacks, I just get a bit of anxiety now and again, you know what I mean? And I think one thing that reaffirms me that is when I've listened to other people, like on YouTube and stuff like that, talking about anxiety attacks, what their experiences are different to mine. So I kind of had this thought of, oh, if I don't have the same symptoms as them, I'm not having an anxiety attack, and it's trying to kind of stop that and trying to connect that my anxiety attacks, like lots of people's, are different. Everyone's anxiety attacks different. So with a lot of people I hear, they kind of start breathing heavily, you know what I mean? They start breathing fast, and they have to slow the breathing down and try and control it. Where I don't get that. I don't really get the kind of, you know what I mean, the freaking out breathing. It's, as I say, it feels more subtle, and you know what I mean. And to me, my own personal experiences, that's kind of worse for me, because if I did have the kind of in-your-face anxiety, I would hopefully realise it more. Maybe, I don't know. That's because obviously I don't have these things. I don't know if that'd be true, but that's what my mind tells me. It says, no, you're not having an anxiety attack. You're just having a little bit of anxiety. So kind of get on with it, shut up, kind of thing. And that's what I'm trying to. That's why I'm doing this video as well, to try and explain that to other people that listen and to myself. As in, what I had today was an anxiety attack, and it was a long anxiety attack, and it built up me all the way through the week. And I hadn't acknowledged it. It was, you know, that kind of subconscious thing of not acknowledging how I was feeling, and acknowledging what I was doing, and how important it was for me to do what I wanted to do today, and how much kind of pressure I'd put on myself without realising it. So yeah, that's basically. So yeah, it was weird. It is in one of those senses of I'm kind of glad it happened, because it kind of gave me that little epiphany, that little kind of like, hang on a minute, Dave, no, that was an anxiety, you just had an anxiety attack, you know what I mean? And that was an anxiety attack for a few hours, because, you know what I mean, you let it build up, you didn't really acknowledge it, so you didn't instantly do anything about it. And you know what I mean, like we know with anxiety attacks, you can't always just do something about it, you know what I mean? Not always is it's like kind of half an hour, 20 minutes of anxiety attacks, you know what I mean? They can last all day, kind of thing. And that's when you have the kind of, when people say like, I just had to go and lie in bed and hide under the covers, or just kind of close down for people, that's because, you know, it's having an anxiety attack, and it's the only way to deal with it. And I feel, anyway, I don't feel too hard on myself, as in like I didn't just withdraw completely, and I didn't just kind of run away. I did try to kind of acknowledge it and deal with it head on, and that's a kind of success for me. That's, you know, something I'm proud of. There was a challenge there in front of me. The challenge was to go to my volunteer job that, you know, I was going to start, to go there and do a bit of work for them, just a little bit of help. And I didn't. I failed that challenge to one degree, but I didn't fail in another way of looking at it, and that's the way I'm trying to look at it. That's the way I'm trying to acknowledge it. Is, yes, I didn't get there. Yes, I didn't actually do it, but I still did things to help. So yeah, so that's the way I'm trying to acknowledge and remind myself of what I did. You know what I mean, and be proud of myself for, at least in the end, standing up and saying, I'm having trouble, I can't deal with this right now, and not just completely closing down after that or during that. Like, I think I know about a year ago or before that, when I was really bad, I don't think I would have texted the girl. I think I would have just completely ignored them. And it might have been the case of never going back at that point because of embarrassment, unless they got in touch with me. Well, I know today they probably wouldn't have got in touch with me today, because they probably would have thought, you know, he's doing something, or, you know, they wouldn't have bothered. They wouldn't have thought about it in that sense, and not in the sense that they don't care, just in the sense that they'll probably realise, like, oh, I know he's probably freaked out a bit or something, we'll talk to him later or something like that. But I would have thought of that as, oh, they don't care, they don't really want me there. But now I'm not thinking like that. I don't think like that anymore. Or try not to think like that. Try and fight those feelings. You know what I mean? They're still there. You know what I mean? But you gotta kind of fight against them. So yeah, I think that's about it. Really wanted to say, just kind of say all that and acknowledge it, kind of thing, and hopefully it helps me and helps other people in some way. Hopefully other people might be able to relate to what I'm saying and realise that, you know what I mean, them two are doing the same thing. I mean, I could be getting a cold right now, and that could have been a bit of a factor to it, but I don't think it was. I mean, you kind of know yourself, really, even though you might not acknowledge it all the time and stuff. You can kind of work yourself out and stuff, and especially when you get anxiety and depression, stuff like that, that becomes a lot more muddy and a lot more difficult to kind of pull apart and realise. But no, I think it was barely because now looking back at it throughout the week and stuff building up to this, and I didn't have a good night's sleep the night before. I think I just woke up very tired and anxious about today, and I didn't acknowledge that at first. I tried to ignore that and just kind of carry on. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, my problem is a lot of my anxiety is stomach based. I get a lot of stomach cramps and a lot of kind of stomach upset. And beforehand, I've always kind of put that down to like, oh, I got food poisoning, or I got a dicky stomach, you know, I've eaten something wrong or something like that. And like I say, some of the times it could just be that, you know. But I kind of know, looking back now, that a lot of the times it happened, it was always after things I'd done that would cause me anxiety. So, you know, it's now trying to use that information, you know what I mean, trying to use that knowledge, you know what I mean, before it happens or as it's happened, to try and catch yourself, which I know, you know what I mean, it's easier said than done, and that is bloody difficult for us. But I believe it's definitely something that if I keep working at, keep trying to deal with, one day or in the future I'll get better at it, and I will start to catch myself, and hopefully I'll even get to the point where I'm, you know, doing all the things, the techniques and everything in my life. I'll have a clean room, I'll be having my sleep hygiene would be brilliant, I'll be meditating all the time, I'll be doing everything in my power in the future to stop the anxieties and things like that. And I do believe myself, because like I said on the previous video, I don't believe I've got like really intense anxiety. It's not crippling, or, you know what I mean, it can be crippling, but it's not anymore. I do think that I can get to the point where I can easily manage my mental health problems. I just need to get there, and it's not going to be quick. It's not going to be it's not going to be in another 6 months' time. I'm just going to be like, boom, I've done it all, and that's it. It might be another year, it might be 2 years. I might get really good at it, and then, you know what I mean, something might happen really badly that pulls me back and stuff. But as one of my friends put on my post today, you know what I mean, don't think of it as like, you know what I mean, 2 steps backwards kind of thing. And that's exactly what I used to say. You know what I mean, I used to say those words like, oh, I feel like I've just taken 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And now I'm not thinking like that, because as other people said, and I'm kind of taking on board and stuff like that, every day we're getting better, you know. Even if something bad happens, something like that, we're always moving forward. You can't go backwards, you know. And you can feel like you can, and that is definitely a real feeling. I'm not saying to say we don't feel like we have, like if we lose our job or something we've built up our time doing, and like we lose our job or something, or we're in college or uni and we fail it and we have to leave, then yes, I can feel like, you know what I mean, you've stepped forward into something and then been knocked back. But no, that's not helpful. It's, you know what I mean, you still learn from that, you can still learn from that, you're still improving, you're still going forward, you know. So that's what I'm trying to visualize now. It's just the fact that if something happens like today, you know what I mean, I wanted to go to do my volunteer work and I didn't do. So I did the first meeting with them 2 weeks ago. Fantastic meeting. They really pumped me up and got me ready for this. I was really excited and really happy with what they were talking about. And then today, it was my first day doing it, I didn't do it. And I can easily consider that as like taking a step forward and then taking a step back. But I don't. Now I can consider it as just, they're all steps forward. You know, I mean, every one of them is a step forward. Might be a teeny little step, might be a massive step, but they're all steps forward in our life. Because, you know what I mean, just like time, you know what I mean, we know we can't time travel. I really wish we could, we all wish we could, but at the moment, you know what I mean, maybe in the future when we're in Star Trek land, flying around the sun, we might be able to time travel, but right now, time flows forward for us, and that's exactly the same with our lives. We're going forward, never going backwards. So that's why I try and visualise things. That's how I try and think about it. Exactly. And to be fair, it could have been a bit of the weather as well. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Yeah, I think you do have to acknowledge sometimes if you are feeling a bit under the weather. That can always, you know what I mean, not help with anxiety. I do think if I was more on top of myself and realised this was going to be a big deal today, and that's what I'm going to do next week. I'm going next Friday, and what I'm going to do beforehand, the days beforehand, I'm going to make myself go to sleep early. I'm going to make myself get enough night's sleep and stuff like that. I'm going to get myself so when I get to Friday, I am healthy and I'm not like shattered and stuff like that. So when the anxiety does come, I'm in a stronger place to kind of deal with it. Where like the night before last, I went to bed late. I had to get up really early because I had my CBT therapy session, and so I had to get there for 10 o'clock. So I was up at like 7:30, 8. I think I went to bed that night just past 1 o'clock. So I think I just kind of tired myself out as well, and that kind of, you know, I mean, that didn't help. And yeah, that's definitely a thing you have to acknowledge. If you're under the weather, you're feeling a bit ill, or you've not had great sleep, then when anxiety does come, it's a lot harder to fight against. It's a lot harder to beat back down. And so sometimes you do kind of have to acknowledge that and just kind of go, right, I do need to do the whole recharge my batteries right now. There's nothing that I'm going to do that's going to stop this anxiety other than just stepping back and just having, you know, I mean, having some time to yourself and just like I say, lying in bed and just sleeping and stuff like that. That is, you know what I mean, a good thing sometimes. That is what you have to do sometimes. But it's getting that balance right, I guess. It's kind of working out if that is the issue or if that is your depression making you think that kind of thing. And that's what I'm trying to do myself. It's trying to get myself to a point where when I do really have bad night's sleep or something like that, I can acknowledge that and go, right, you know what I mean, if anything does happen, it's going to be harder to deal with. Still hopefully might be able to deal with it, but still, you know what I mean, it's not going to be easier than when I've had rested sleep and I've eaten in the morning. And that's the other thing, it's like eating, you know what I mean, when I don't eat, I can feel myself now and I'm getting a lot better at it. Like if I don't have any breakfast and it gets to like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I'm not eating in the morning, I can feel my anxiety for stuff happening easier, or trying to think of doing things, it becomes more scarier, and that's because I'm tired and hungry. And so now I try and go, right, you're feeling hungry and it's making you feel a bit sick, but don't go for the, oh, I'm feeling a bit sick now so I'm not going to eat. Force yourself to eat. And I have felt and acknowledged that after I've eaten, I have felt better. I have felt better in myself, and I have been able to do the things that have been a bit scarier before I've eaten. So yeah, I think it's acknowledging sometimes things like that. There's other factors that can affect how easy it is to deal with anxiety. As I said, I mean, still, if you're watching this video back and you want to leave a comment or ask me a question, still do it on here. You know, I mean, I do get all the notifications, and I do try and reply to everyone that's put a message up afterwards and stuff like that. So that's much appreciated. And you can PM this page, or if you got me as a friend, you can just PM me. We'll get back to you. I'm getting a lot better now. We're actually getting back to people, not just ignoring them when I get all anxious. So yeah, I think I'll leave it there. Thank you very much, guys, for coming along. As I said, have a good weekend, and I'll see you all later.